So in the bio, it says squeeze in $200.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? First. Secondly, how did you gain the confidence to say, I'm going to charge you $200? Because we just talked about all the bribers,
It took
right?
faith. Basically, how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying? People going to pay whatever they want to get whatever they want.
That's very true. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, for example, the PlayStation. PlayStation is $500, right? But people paying $1,200 for it.
The resale.
Because they really want it. You know what I'm saying? So people going to pay whatever they get what they want.
Have you ever felt confused about your present, like feeling like you're all over the place and super anxious about your future, but you have the desire to pursue purpose? Well, my name is Michelle Morris, and I've created a series called Living on Purpose. In this series, I interview different individuals who are doing just that, living on purpose. We talk about their different obstacles that they face, the ups, the downs, and actually what it's like now to actually be pursuing purpose. So I want you guys to come along the journey with me as we talk to these different individuals. We see what it's like to live on purpose. Hey guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to another episode of Living on Purpose. Today we have a super special guest. We have here Tip the Barber, also known as Change Man. Thank you so much for being here.
How you doing? Appreciate it.
No problem. So as you guys know, here on this show, on these episodes, we talk about living on purpose and what that means in different industries. So like I said, today we have here Tip. So could you tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do, your background, things like that?
Well, I'm a barber. Some people say I'm a celebrity barber, but you know, started off when I was 15. I took it serious at the age of 20. And after that, you know, when I went to barber school, I never looked back. Didn't want to work for no one.
Didn't want to work for no one. So you said you started at 15. So how did that come about? 15, you're in what, high school? What grade is that?
Yeah, 15, I'm in high school, but I could say I was in high school. I could say it was a little bit before that. I could say like 8th grade. I was lining my brother up every now and then. We couldn't get to the barbershop when we want to.
Right.
You know, my parents busy, you know what I'm saying? So brother want to get right, I want to get right. So he do mine, I do his.
So was that trial and error? Like
trial and error, definitely. It was trial and error, but I think we did a good job for our age, you know?
Yeah.
People always say we had a fresh lineup every time we go to school.
So would you say that was like a gift, like just a talent that you had?
Yes, because my background was art. Like I started cutting hair. Now I started, you know, drawing when I was young. I was always drawing. I was always into portrait type of art. So yeah, so I was always there with my hands.
So 15 years old, you started doing other people's, like at school and different things like that?
On my block. When I was staying in, you know, Miami Gardens off of 199th and 27th, I had like friends around the neighborhood, and they asked me for a lineup. And I walked to their house and cut them up and stuff.
So
I didn't know what I was
you know what you're doing
until people really start liking it. So I'm like, damn, I must be doing a good
something
job.
Good. So you just like, it was just something natural, a talent that came.
It was just
for
natural,
you. So a lot of people, they go to high school. You're 15, you're cutting hair. A lot of people go to high school, and then usually you're told after high school you're going to go ahead and go to college. So was that like the caveat, the way that you wanted to go, or like you said college, 20, you took it seriously? So that's like 2 years.
Yeah, so that lets you know the college didn't work out for me.
Right.
But college was I was trying to go to college for business and administration. And I was told several times, like, college ain't for everybody.
It's not.
You know, I'm just let you know that now. So, you know, I had a close friend of mine that told me that, and I took heed to what they said to me, because at the time I was going to work and college at the same time, and it was very stressful at that time when you're assistant manager and going to college at the same time. And I realized, you know what, I got to drop one of them. Money ain't gonna stop.
Right. So you said assistant manager. Assistant manager where?
I was assistant manager. It's no longer Hess now. It's Raceway. But I was assistant manager there.
At 20 years old?
At the age of 18.
At 18.
I was the youngest assistant manager there.
So you've always, I guess in a sense, always had a boss mentality, like mindset.
I always.
So
leadership role
and type like that. So you said 20 years old, you decided to take it seriously. What was that shift for you at 20 years old? That's very young, 20.
Yeah, 20. 20. I was when I left from Hess, I was planning to go to school, out of town to college, Tallahassee. That didn't work out for me. So when I stayed in Atlanta with my mom, my auntie used to come around and her kids used to come in and out the house, never had a haircut. So that was my guinea pig. So when I started cutting their hair, I ain't never looked back from that, for real.
Right.
I started cutting their hair and I was like, man, I'm getting the hang of this.
Right.
And then I tried college again.
You tried college again when?
20.
Okay. So still pretty young, but like you should have been in it, kind of, whatever. Yeah.
I tried college again, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working because I needed that financial stability.
Right.
Like, I was looking for that sooner. So it didn't work.
So so like being a barber is not necessarily something that's like popular, right? And I'm realizing this in a lot of these things with people pursuing purpose. It's not necessarily something that's popular. So you talk about school. I wanted to know, because I mean, if people would guess, they'd probably guess that maybe you wanted to do maybe the cool thing, like, I don't know, you go to college to go play sports or something like that. But being a barber, I mean, honestly, driving here, I might have passed like 2 barber shops. And, you know, it's like just this regular path that a lot of people take, but it's never really the first choice.
Facts.
So were you ever like, say, okay, I'm just going to do this for now, but it's not really cool? Did you ever feel embarrassed about doing it? Or
no,
how was
I
that for
never,
you?
but I came in with a different approach. My approach was, I got to make this stand out as much as I can, where that I could, you know, these kids would look at it like it's a cool thing to do. You know, just because, you know, you may not make it in college or whatnot, don't think it's it for you.
Right.
It's not the end of the tunnel.
Right.
It's always a light, and Barber was a light for me. And I felt like we just as important as doctors, lawyers, teachers, firefighters, police, et cetera, because we're essential.
Right. I think it's so important that you said that, because especially, I'll say like in the more urban community, a lot of our parents say, and I mean, and I understand it too, they say, you know, you go to work, I mean, you go to school, then you go to college, and then you're supposed to have a successful career. That's not a lot of people's reality, especially not today. I mean, college is for some people, for other people it's not. But then also, I think that a lot of like in the urban community, I think if you're, you know, if you don't do the college thing, that doesn't work. You either have to be like a rapper or a basketball player, or you got to sell drugs. And I just think that, and that's one of the reasons why I was interested in interviewing you, is because like you're making cutting hair not only cool, but you're making, it seems like to me anyways, you're making a pretty good living from it. You can talk a little bit more about that, about like the influence and like making it
I done
cool.
talked to my nurse friends, my doctor friends, and they in the medical field, and when we talk about numbers, I'm in the same bracket as them. So it's a blessing. Like, it's all about consistency and just be passionate. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, when you passionate about something, I promise you, sky's the limit. Because I mean, when you become a high demand individual who cuts hair, everybody want what you got to provide. I mean, you make whatever. Right.
You talk about passion. How did you know you were passionate about cutting hair? Because like I said, 20 years
That's
old.
all I think about. That's all I thought about. That's all I wanted to do. So it's like, and then what makes it, what put much fire in me is the fact that it's the only way I can eat. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's survival. You know what I'm saying? Right. You don't cut, you don't eat.
Right. So were you always supported? Like, because right now you're living large and you're doing all these things now.
My family was my first supporters.
Were they?
My close friends and my family was my first supporters. Now it's, you know, the Instagram, you know, social media, you have supporters. You got people that supporting you that you don't even know.
That's why
I appreciate those.
No, that's awesome. But the reason why I ask is because that's usually the opposite for a lot of people. Like I said, number one, I mean, you make cutting hair look cool, but it's not necessarily the cool thing, at least maybe not way back then when you started.
Yeah, it's cool now.
It's cool now, right? When you see it. So it's cool now to like cut hair, but it's not necessarily the coolest thing to do. So that's the reason why I ask, because I know a lot of people who are pursuing purpose, they don't get that support. It's not necessarily cool. And a lot of people, they may bash you or talk bad about you back then, but then when they see you doing well, they kind of come back around the corner. So, I mean, would you encourage a young person, let's say, you know, the 20-year-old you who's going to college in and out, don't know what you want to do, would you encourage them to pursue something like cutting hair, being a barber?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Why?
I had a friend of mine. Why? Because I feel like it's no cap salary to it. You know,
there's no ceiling.
It's no ceiling. It's the sky's the limit. You just never know who you run into. You run into so many people. You get connects and resources with so many people.
Right.
It's a dope career. I could go to Publix right now, and the bag boy that I cut, he gonna look out for me.
Right. He like referrals.
Like he gonna make sure I get in the shorter line. You know what I'm saying? Like there's 15 people in the line. You like, nah, come over here. Let's go in this line and get me out the way real quick. Right. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere I go,
so like the relationships and different things like that you build.
Even when I go through TSA, it's love.
So I have a question for you, and I kind of mentioned this before, but like I said, there's so many barbershops. Like I said, just driving past here, I must have passed like 2 barbershops, and there's like one on every single corner. What makes you different?
What makes me different? Number one, I'm passionate about my work. If we get back to passionate part, and number one, I'm dope. Like it's no brainer. Like,
but what makes you dope? Like you said, you keep saying passionate. What does passionate mean to you?
Passionate.
Besides, can't get it out of your mind.
I love what I do. I show that I love what I do. So if I'm that barber that's a bunch around a lot of barbers, like you could be cutting hair, and I'm the one that's just gonna go out of town to go to the seminars and
to perfect your craft.
To perfect my craft,
Gotcha.
and you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna get the new tools, whatever they have new, I'm gonna get it. So. Yeah, that makes me passionate. That makes me love what I do.
I think that's
bringing
awesome.
Something new to the table.
So what I'm hearing is, because I'm thinking as you're speaking, what I'm hearing is though that you invest in your craft.
Invest.
So how important is it to invest in what it is that you are passionate about?
It's very important. I mean, how bad you want how bad you want success.
Right.
I mean that by me wanting success so much, it makes me reinvest into my craft even more.
Even more.
Yeah.
So let me kind of pivot from there, but that's awesome what you're saying. I think that's important to like invest in your craft, and I think that's been like a reoccurring thing that I've been hearing during this. But so you talked about other barbers, so that brought this up to me. So do you support other barbers? And the reason why I asked, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but like we're in this beautiful studio, but it looks like it's only for one person.
It's only one person.
So why did you go this route rather than having a regular big barbershop?
I went this route because I have a lot of high-end clients.
What does that mean?
Clients that just don't want to be, they special people. They don't want to be associated with a lot of people. They don't want to be around a lot of people. They want to just get in and get out.
Get out. Low key.
Yes. Yeah, low key people.
Right.
And pay real good. So I wanted more of a private man cave type of vibe.
Right. It's definitely man cavey. Yeah.
Get your drink, you know what I'm saying? Smoke your hookah if you got to.
Right.
And just, get a dope cut.
So then that brings me to this, because you talked about, high clients, high paying. So as I was preparing for this interview, I was going through your Instagram. And in the bio on your Instagram, it said something very interesting to me. And I was like, wait a minute. So this is a really great question, I think. And I think a lot of people want to know. So in the bio, it says squeeze in $200. What does that mean, first? Secondly, how did you gain the confidence to say, I'm going to charge you $200? Because we just talked about all the barbers, right? Faith. So start there. What does squeeze in mean, and where did you get the confidence from?
Basically, how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying? People going to pay whatever they want to get whatever they want.
That's very true.
So it's like, for example, the PlayStation. PlayStation is $500, right? But people paying $1,200 for it.
The resale.
Because they really want it. You know what I'm saying? So people gonna pay whatever they get what they want. And when it come instantly and it come their way, they're gonna pay it.
So squeeze in means?
Squeeze in, you fit in my schedule. That's how
last minute. Yeah. That's how much you want it.
Yeah, that's how much I love my time.
So if you got like a last minute event and you want Tip to do it, that's how much, you said something, that's how much you value your time.
Yeah, that's how much I value my time.
So basically, you know how much you're worth.
Yeah, I know how much I worth.
This is the reason why I'm asking this question, because I think a lot of up and coming entrepreneurs, right? You talked about faith too, because I want to talk about like the confidence to say, because it's a haircut. I mean, it's a haircut, but no, it's valuable and that's what you're worth. But what I'm saying is that like a lot of up and coming entrepreneurs, the biggest issue that a lot of them have is that they don't know what to charge, or they undercharge, or the biggest thing, and I hear this all the time, is that your friends and family want discounts.
Yeah.
So where did the confidence come from for you to say, no, this is how much I'm worth, you see my work, this is how much I'm worth? And then secondly, how do you get around discounts and favors and you my cousin, you my bro, we've been in the 8th grade.
Down.
How do you do that?
And just be aware that this person do have a life. This person do have a, this person got to eat too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You living your life, I got to live mine. So I can't be cutting myself short.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my family understand. It took them not long at all.
Not long at all. Why?
It took friends more longer to understand before family. Family understood from the jump. Yeah. Because my mom actually put it to everybody else, like, nah, my son ain't doing that for free.
So your mom was just like, not having it.
Yeah, my mom ain't playing that.
So it sounds like to me that you have a standard.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about, the $200 price. A lot of people might say, because this is the reason why I'm really going deep on this, because I think that you have to understand who your clientele is. So if someone says $200 is too much for me, then guess what? You're just not my clientele, and you just that's okay.
And it's people that I cut $200 is too much for them, but that's why they get up and they book at the time that they need a book, because I open up my schedule at a specific time and everybody catch that schedule. Right. For the people that can't catch it, they'll catch it next time if they can't afford the 200 squeeze in, and that's that.
Right.
Because it's either I'm okay. At the end of the day, I get the what's the word I'm looking for? I get the bad results at the end. You know what I'm saying? It reflects on me. I end up leaving home. I end up leaving here late. I go home late. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna feel it more than them. You know what I'm saying? All it takes for them is just go to another barber or wait on me to open up my schedule again.
Right.
Me, I'm gonna be here all night trying to please everyone, to accommodate everyone. That's not a happy life.
That's not a happy life. No, I think that's so important that you said that. So I want to kind of take the conversation to, you talked about you just had a bigger mindset. You didn't want your barbershop to be like everyone else's shop. I mean, I hope that, we can show what it looks like, because it's very intimate, it's very nice, but like where would that mind shift change? Because like, did that happen when you were 20? Like, where did you go, oh no, I don't want to be like everybody else? Because like, honestly, the barbershop industry is a very lucrative, I mean, you can live a nice life, but like I said, you take it to like the next level. So when did you make that mind shift?
All right, if my prices, it's not as low as every barber may charge. I don't know what everybody charge, honestly. Right. And if my prices gotta match the scenery as well. You know what I'm saying? And then when I shift off by moving from out the barbershop and getting my own suite, I had to give it that luxury look, the luxury vibe, because I'm trying to give out luxury cuts. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to feel like, you know what?
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. This is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You come to him, I promise you're not gonna regret it.
So it's the experience.
It's the experience. It's not just the cut. It's the experience as well.
The experience
and the vibe, the talks,
the
whatever.
talks, everything. So you talked about going from a barbershop to this. So were you in a barbershop before this?
Yes, I was in a barbershop before this.
In a barbershop, working in a...
I was working at Top Cutters for 7 years.
Okay.
The owner, by the name of Mike, still my mentor to this day.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I think everyone should have a mentor at some point. Or it's your mom or your dad you listen to. I mean, I still have my mom, my dad, and my mentor.
But you have your mentor.
My mentor is like, he know the ins and outs of my type of lifestyle, which is being a barber. So it was just easy for us to click. And like taught me how to have like structure with my life. I'm still trying to learn structure because I still try to be the nice guy to everyone. You know what I'm saying?
You talked about, I want to touch on being the nice guy, but you talked about a mentor and why that's so important. Could you elaborate more on that? Why having a mentor is so important in any industry? It doesn't have to be the barbershop industry.
Yeah, it's like mentor is another way of these guys will say a big homie. Like somebody like, yo, man, what's the difference between a personal bank and a business bank? Like, what route should I take? What route should I take? Should I pay my personal my personal stuff with my banking or my business stuff with my personal, like.
Right.
And you know, big homie gonna tell you, nah, homie, that's not the route. Like, pay your business stuff with your business bank and pay your personal stuff with your personal bank. And that's the analogy I'm just giving. So,
no, that's good. No, I think it's just like guidance. It kind of like help you not make the mistakes that they've already made and just kind of like help you progress.
Yeah.
No, I think that's so important. Now, you talked about like, you know, having the faith to like, you know, make your prices $200 and just like, you know, just knowing that's what you're worth.
Yeah, let's set this straight. That's not my actual price.
I know that's not your actual price. No, I wasn't even going to say that though. What I was going to say was though, where did you have the faith to leave the barbershop to do this on your own? But then you can talk about your actual price. I know that's not your actual price because I went on your site.
Yeah, what made me leave the shop is the shop was no longer bringing me clients. It was no longer giving me revenue. And I felt like, you know, it was that time that, you know, I should out and fly my wings, spread my wings, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, let me just come on sweet because I'm no longer, the shop is no longer benefiting me, I'm benefiting it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? No hard feelings. I love my homie, but you know, we gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta evolve.
Gotta evolve.
That makes sense. I know you said the $200 is not your price. I know the $200 is not your price.
I want to let it be known because I don't want nobody feeling like, I ain't booking
No, $200 is not his price. That was just something that I noticed, and I was like,
it stands out.
It stands out. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna ask him about that. But so just speaking of your Instagram and different things like that, your Instagram name is Changed Man, and that really like. I'm a person, I love words and different things like that. Yeah. Why is that your Instagram name? What did you change?
It's crazy. My Instagram, like people would think it's because of the haircuts and stuff like that. It wasn't based off of that. Being a barber was my stepping stone, but Changed Man just came from, you know, my surroundings. My surroundings, people I was around, you know, people that I didn't want to be around no more. So I was like, you know what? And just change it to Changed Man. Not only I'm Changed Man, it changed my life too. You know what I'm saying? So I became Changed Man on Instagram. I pursued the barber career at the same time. And people was like, I see why your name is Changed Man.
Right.
And I wanted to know what your definition of when you see my name. What's your definition?
Oh, you're asking me? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I know like I said, when I looked, I was going through your Instagram when I was preparing for this interview, and I saw Changed Man, and I was like, well, I thought you said he was a barber. And then I saw it was in your description, so I knew that there had to be more to the story. And that's exactly why I wanted to ask you. So what concluded to me was that, well, something happened. Something has to happen for you to change. And the fact that that's your name, because I'm like, well, why aren't you just Tip the Barber? Because you are Tip the Barber. That makes more sense to find you on Instagram, you know? Yeah. So that's why I was so it just showed me that something changed. And then question back to you would be, what changed? You said your environment. If you feel comfortable, what changed? What environment? And why was it important for you to change that environment?
I mean, for the most part, it's like my environment changed. This is the people I was around, you know, trying to get fast money and, you know. And it's hard to stay away from that because of what we live in. But I know this job right here keep me so busy. There's no need to even have that straight that type of thought. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, I just got to change the company that I keep. And I was like, you know what? I like that name. Like Changed Man is what it is. As far as in the barber market, you know, Changed Man is what you become when you get a haircut.
You know so it just works.
Yeah, so it worked. So. I just had to let it be known, like it didn't came from your haircut. It came from your lifestyle, like, you know.
Do you think, and this is for you to answer, do you think the conscious decision to change your lifestyle, to change the people that you're around, in the end, not necessarily like this is the end for you, but ended up making all of this success for you because you decided to change your mindset?
Yeah, definitely, because like I was true to my craft. My craft turned into a career, and I just stayed dedicated and focused to it. So
I like that you said that your craft changed into your career. I think that's a beautiful thing, because I think a lot of people on their journey pursuing purpose, a lot of times your purpose is like what you said, the thing that you cannot stop sleeping about, the thing that you cannot stop thinking, and that you just do well so easily. But I think it's knowing how to profit from it. And so I think that you did a wonderful job doing that. What advice would you give to a young man who is pursuing fast money? Maybe he doesn't want to be a barber, maybe he does, but who is pursuing fast money, who all he sees on TV, if you're not an athlete, you're not playing sports, even though those things are great, you should work towards them if that's what you want to do, but he doesn't necessarily want to work a job either. What advice would you give him?
Man, it's tough, but all I can say is, if you're getting money right now, make some investments and find an exit plan quick, fast, and in a hurry before it's too late.
That's good. That's
good. That's as real as I can keep it.
No, that's good.
Because I can't say don't do this and don't do that.
Right.
Because we all go through trials and tribulations.
Everybody has their own journey.
Not perfect. So just get in and get out, and just know it's more to life than what you're doing.
No, I think that's great advice. What would you say is the biggest mistake that you've made in your journey, and what have you learned from it?
Oh man, not starting this career fast enough. I feel like I should have just, when I got out of high school, I should have just went straight into it.
Just went to the ground running?
Yeah. I feel like 20 was old. I should have started when I was like 16 off bat.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think that's awesome. I think that a lot of people, even with myself, I would say the same thing. Like, dang, I wish I had this confidence to just do these things now.
Yeah, because I see barbers now, like it's a barber that I'm following now, and his name is Young Barber. This man is 17 years old.
Well, I guess hence young.
Doing house calls for $250. I'm like, man. I said, man, the game didn't change.
No, that's awesome. So you talked about, this is kind of bringing you back a little bit, but you talked about not knowing your self-worth then and now knowing it now. How did you discover that, your self-worth?
So I started to polish up my skills, and I see the phone start ringing a whole lot more. It started to get overwhelming. So I'm like, you know what? These people digging me right now. Okay. All right. So you know what? I guess I am the. I don't know if I can curse on here, but
do whatever you want.
I am the shit. I am the shit.
So then you got like confidence from that.
Confidence built. It took a while though, because it's still like, I sympathize with people's situation, but I'm like, at the same time, who sympathize with mine? Who has sympathy for mine?
Right.
So it's like, you know what? I gotta take care of me first.
No, I think that's awesome. So what's next for you? You're cutting, you're doing, you have your clients and different things like that. Do you want to be a barber forever? Do you want to eventually open up a barbershop? Like, what's next for you?
What's next for me is real estate and traveling.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I want to get into traveling. People think that people don't get paid off of traveling. You get paid off of traveling.
So your dream is to travel the world for free?
Travel the world for free.
Yeah.
They get paid. They pay me off for just marketing their hotels or resorts or villas or whatever. Just pay me to travel.
So if I could, who is Tip in 5 years? If you could guess, what's happening in 5 years? I check back in with you. We do like a 2.0. What happened in 5 years with Tip?
Man, that's pressure right there. Now it's time to tighten up from now to 5 years. But I am finding the exit plan, and I feel like real estate is where it's at, and traveling more. I'm going to travel regardless, though.
So you said real estate. What would you do in real estate?
Well, invest and get properties. Resell, buy and resell properties.
I think real estate is a great industry for a lot of people who are looking to invest and make money. So how I like to go ahead and end these interviews is by asking every guest, what does living on purpose mean to you?
I want to inspire the young kids. Don't fall short on having that mindset like college is everything. You gotta go to college. And that may not work for you.
Right.
As long as you pick up a trade, you execute, you're good.
Right.
And have a passion. You gotta have a passion. Like, if you love doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let no one stray you away from doing what you love doing.
Right.
If you become an electrician or anything that you're doing with your hands, a trade, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be as successful as a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. Right? It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're good with your hands.
Right.
And school may not be for you. Yeah. And you still got to go to school.
You know what's so funny that you say that though? Because I was talking to someone and I was saying the same thing. In schools, they don't promote trades.
They
like
don't.
Hair and honestly speaking, if you do it well, and you can go far with that. So it's actually great that you said that.
Very, because I never said this in the interview, like in the beginning, but one thing I wanted to do, one of the things I wanted to do was cutting on set, like shows like Stars, HBO, things like that. I wanted to do.
Right.
It's still possible. It's still possible. Yeah. But that's something that I always looked at being cool. When you see these celebrities on TV, they got a fresh cut, or the ladies may see,
the hair.
Yeah, the ladies with the hair, makeup, So that right there, it shows how important we are.
Right.
To the community.
Exactly. No, I think that's awesome. Well.
Yeah. So have a purpose, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't waste no time.
Right. Pursue it. Focus on it.
Focus.
Master it.
There you go.
So where can the people find you? I know we kind of already mentioned your Instagram, but like where can they find you?
Changeman_ on Instagram.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Living on Purpose. Thank you so much, Tip, for joining me today. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Living on Purpose. Bye, guys. Did you like this interview? Tell me what you liked about it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell button so you get more notifications for the next Living on Purpose interview. And don't forget to share this video with someone that you like, love, or you just want to see this video. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Living on Purpose. Bye, guys.